All right, so now what we're going to do is just do the final cleanup, and we can adjust certain things if we want. But let's start with the layers and some of these objects. So the first thing we'll do is turn off the background image because we don't need to see that, and we'll turn on these other shields, and then we'll also come in and adjust the opacity, right? Because we want to keep it at 100%. So we're just going to set all these back to 100%. Now we can also just select everything, and you can see that we can make that change to all the objects pretty quickly, right? So now we have it, we're ready to export it out as a JPEG. If we want to, up here I was noticing the text, so I'm going to change the type tool to type on path, and I'm just going to select this text here, and we're just going to change the spacing of that maybe so that it's not so spread out. We'll drop it down to 50. Looks a little bit better. All right, so little adjustments and tweaks like that we can make. And I noticed like the hand here too is, just taking a closer look at it, the hand should be in front. So what I'm going to do is click on it, go to arrange, and say bring to front, and then that puts the hand in front of that. And so the same thing with this one. We want to bring that to the front as well. So that looks a little bit better. We've got it all cleaned up. Now we're ready to export it. So if you export it as an SVG file, it'll maintain the layers and the components. And if you're going into Cricut or some other Design Space or some other application, you may have to do some merging and some adjustments. So I'm going to actually do another tutorial of how to prepare this for a black and white cut file. And by doing that, we'll have to merge in some of these paths because the cannons and stuff weren't closed, so they won't show up as good SVG shapes in an SVG file. So this image right now we're just going to use as a print and cut, and I'm just going to export it out as a PNG file as well as a JPEG, so a JPG. So we'll go to File, and all along the way we probably could have saved. So I'm going to save my changes, make sure we save it. And then I'll come up here and we'll just click on the export, and we'll select export as, and then we can come in here and choose the file format we want. So if you are going to a DXF file or a DWG, you could do that as well. Here I'm just going to go to a JPEG, and we'll click export. We'll keep the settings the way they are. We'll keep the high resolution the way it is. I'll click OK. And we'll just repeat that process for the PNG. So I'll go export, export as. We'll change the file type to PNG and click export. We'll keep this the way it is as well. You can see the background, and I'll click OK. So I'm going to create another tutorial that's going to show you how to work with this inside of the Cricut Design Space and prepare this for an SVG file. So I'll show you some other tips and tricks with that video in that tutorial.